Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas, everyone! Merry Christmas, everyone!
Hello, friends. Merry Christmas and August. Hope you're having a great day. Let me just double check that everything is working, and then we will begin. Oh, my Stream Deck seems to be having some trubs. IMO. All right. In the meantime, how are you? How's it going?
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right. I think, yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and move on over here. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. There's a major delay in my Stream Deck. Anyway, it's probably because I added all of the Wooble videos to OBS, and it's probably freaking out a little bit. But welcome in. Merry Christmas. Jonzo, you were first. Jonzo, how are you today? Merry Christmas. Sassy, hello. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to us. How's it going? Emmers, welcome in. Hello, how are you? Bear, hello. Gigi, hello, welcome in. Yimit, welcome in. Merry Christmas. So my stream streak didn't go up yesterday, so we will see if it continues today. Oh, that's weird. Well, I didn't stream yesterday, so maybe that's why. Forced me? You were forced. Welcome in, everybody. How are you? Merry Christmas. Today is Christmas in August, or Wednesday. Ah, fair. Okay. And then it is weird then. Hopefully it goes up. That's strange. Merry Christmas in August. Today, we are going to be crocheting, or attempting to crochet a thing. But we're also just going to be listening to Christmas tunes and relaxing until I can no longer crochet. And then we'll do something else, probably. I have the goal was to crochet this thing, and I'm going to say I thought this was going to be easier. I have already looked at some of the videos. I watched some of them last night because I put them all in OBS, and the amount of overwhelm I felt watching them, and the amount of anxiety that then creeped forth has made me think that it's not gonna happen. I don't think I have it in me. So I don't think I have that dog in me. So we're gonna just, we'll try it out. We're just gonna go and see what happens. And then if it ends up just being like, I'm having the worst time ever, we'll just do something else. That'll pretty much be how we go. I think I have some Christmassy like games on Steam or whatever that we can play. So yeah, we'll see. But how are you all today? What have you been up to? You got this? I don't think I do. Very, very quickly I realized, oh, this is like a whole thing. This is like, crocheting is a whole thing, and I don't think it's my thing. So we'll see. Even just like the voice of the person in the videos, I think just gave me anxiety just listening to them talk. So I was like, oh boy, I should have maybe what's the word? Like, vetted this idea before I committed to it. It's too late though, we're here. I will say, and I have posted this in the Discord, but I guess I'll do this in here. I'll pin this message. Hold on. Horror game stream next Friday. We're gonna be playing Sharks and Minnows. So this Friday, Christmassy. Next Friday, Halloween. Thank you, Bear. So yeah, hope to see you guys next Friday. Enjoy. Wait. Are you enjoying vacation? Okay. There we go. Ooh, sushi.
Merry Christmas,
nom, 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 nom. What kind of sushi are you gonna get? The Christmas before nightmare. That's our era right now. We're in the Christmas before
Merry
nightmare
Christmas,
era.
everyone.
Yes, all of the sushi. We love that. I love sushi. I had sushi the other day because I was craving sushi. I haven't had sushi in many moons. Good, good. Yeah, we're gonna be playing Sharks and Minnows. We'll see how it goes. I feel more confident about that now than I do about crocheting. Does that say anything about how I feel about my crocheting skills? I like eel. I think I've had eel once, and it was one of those just like single sushis. I've had octopus, I know, a few times. I like squid a lot, but there is a I've talked about this. There is a sushi place that does this special deep fried roll. I love a good deep fried roll. So healthy for you, but I love it. And that one is salmon, I believe. Is it salmon? I think it's salmon. It has some flakes on top of it and some kind of special sauce. And it's very good. I really like it. But that's pretty much what I get. So I ordered that, and that was it. But I tend to like, as far as Japanese food goes, I tend to like ramen more. So I'd rather have ramen, but ramen is very heavy. And so I feel like I was sort of in a mood where I was like, I just want like something kind of, you know, simple. So I got a singular roll. It was like $18 though. So that's also why I was like, just one roll. That's fine. What was I gonna say? Oh, also, if you guys have missed some of the past few streams, we've hit a lot of our goals recently. Currently, so we got the paranormal home inspectors goal, so that is complete. So we'll do a marathon of that. Bear, thank you so much for the 40 stream streak. That's so high. I appreciate it. But our current goal is, or if we reach it, is a League of Legends stream. So, if we're wanting to play some ARAMs, or I'll just do it on my own, that's also fine. I can solo queue some ARAMs. We can do that. I'm getting back up. I know. I appreciate that. ARAM. So that would be fun. I think that'd be very fun. I actually, Yimit, I played one round of ARAM. One, because I was like, I should update my game just in case we do end up getting to play League of Legends. Two, because you mentioned the changes. I was like, oh, I want to see what the changes are. And I like them. I like the changes. I think there's clearly some things that have also changed. It's been a long time since I've played League that I've been like, okay, I don't really know what's happening anymore. I don't know what this is, but that's fine. Unfortunately, I was just trying to remember, did I win? But my like internet cut out or something. Or I lost connection to League. And so I was like, oh, all right. Well, at least I got to see the beginning parts of it, but after League, I didn't update that. Oh, I didn't update the chat message. On stream is the thing. Then after League is a Lego building stream. Which means I actually have to buy a Lego because I have never owned one. So, I've never owned an official Lego thing ever. So after League of Legends, Lego. I'll update the chat message later. That's a later Jet problem. Yeah, I like the character select. It's better. I like that they give you multiple choice. That's nice. I didn't understand what the, like, in the middle of the map, there's like a flower behind a wall. I was like, okay, there's a wall here. That's new. And then I was like, I don't know what the flower does. Do you like the idea of what Lego set, or do you have an idea of what Lego set you would like? No, not really. Something cheap. Maybe one of the Animal Crossing ones, because that would kind of make sense for like our general feel and vibe. Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking is, you know, maybe something Animal Crossing, but something on the cheaper side, because I want most of the money for all this stuff to go to the trip, and so I don't want to, like, you know, get the Star Destroyer. So, my hubby and I are celebrating 5 years married on Sunday. We currently have nothing planned, but we did go shopping on the Lego website and order some gifts for each other. Oh, that's amazing. What did you get, Sassy? There's an Easter spring Lego set and an online tutorial that comes with all the pieces to build an alien facehugger. I think I've seen some of these, Jonzo, where it's like, oops, I think I built this wrong. And it's like a completely different thing. I think there was one I saw where you could take the Star Wars logo Lego set and change it into Star Trek. And I thought that was so funny. Yeah, happy anniversary. An AC&H one. Yeah, I think that'd be good. And they're like fairly priced. They actually had the airport on sale during Prime Day, but I decided not to get it. Partially because for any of these, I've sort of been like, I'm not going to anticipate reaching any goal. So, because then I've just spent money that I didn't have. So we'll have to reach that goal, and then we'll see what you know, what's out there, what's good. Turn Star Wars into Star Trek. Yeah, it's great because it's still the like Star Wars font, but they were able to change out the pieces so that it spells out Star Trek instead, and I was like, that is hilarious. I've also seen the one that's like you can turn Simba's head into something else. Is it like the Millennium Falcon or something? I don't know if you've seen that, but it's like you can turn his face into another thing. Also, this playlist isn't just strictly Christmas. It's also some just like vaguely Christmas sounding songs. Because there just wasn't enough. So I was like, if not, we're just gonna be listening to the same like few songs over and over. He wanted the botanical, but yeah, I said that right. Botanical Almanac book. And I wanted the minifig vending machine, which is back ordered. We also used some points on the butterfly garden, and we are getting some free gift sets because of what we spent. Oh, that's so fun. You found your Santa hat? I was going to wear mine, but I need to get a bigger hat. My Santa hat has always been a little too small. And I was going to order a new one. I was like, maybe I'll wait for actual Christmas for that. No, this is mostly Game Chops stuff that they've released that are Christmassy. I don't think they've done any Nightmare Before Christmas. I think they've mostly done video games. So there's like some Christmas Zelda sounding songs or like Christmas Mario. Or then there's like this, which is a lo-fi version of All I Want for Christmas. But I decided to go non-copyright music because I think if when this gets uploaded to YouTube, when I am silently seething as I do crochet, I feel like it would be too quiet if I had to then like separate the audio. So I figured we would just keep it DMCA free today. But yeah, I was also gonna wear my Christmas sweater, and then I decided not to. So I decided just to wear red. That's my Christmas contribution for this. But yeah, what are you guys going to ask for Christmas? What's already on your list? Is it too early? Too early to decide? I went for a lumberjack instead. Exactly. That's really it. I didn't know Christmas video game music was a thing. Yeah, Game Chops is a... I didn't know what are they? A music producing studio? Question mark? They like hire musicians to make lo-fi versions of video game music. Or like remixes. They're mostly lo-fi, I find, but I think then they also have some that branch out beyond that. And so they have like, oftentimes we're listening to, when I'm not occasionally listening to my own music, we're listening to a lot of Game Chops. And it's like these lo-fi remixes of like Nintendo songs or whatever. But they've come out with a few Christmas albums over the past few years. And so it's like, so one of the ones that played earlier was Deck the Bros, which is like, it's like part Mario song, but with like Deck the Halls in it mixed in. I don't know. It's like, it's kind of weird. It sounds great though. It'll probably play again, but anyway. But yeah, so they do some random stuff, but I also put in there like the next song is just from, it's a lo-fi Zelda song. There's some Undertale, some Stardew, and then I put a bunch of just like also random Animal Crossing music because I feel like it just even just cozy vibes kind of fits what we're going. So I didn't want the 12 Christmas songs that I actually have to just loop for a couple of hours. But anyway, like I said, if we'll kind of see how things go, and if I crash out, we'll play something. We'll play a game instead of we'll pause the, well, I won't say pause the crocheting. We'll stop the crocheting and then do something else. I have a Stardew lo-fi playlist that I love. Oh, so good. I wonder if some of these songs are on there then. Maybe, or they might be. I think I have like the Stardew winter theme and something else. But what else have you guys been up to? Have you been playing any games this weekend? Anything fun? Anything exciting? I'm excited about the new season of Apex starts next week. There's a bunch of really fun changes. I'm very excited. Got to do some work. Then I'll be back. Twitch just doesn't like working on my phone today. No, I'm sorry, Bear. Oh, by the way, side note, Nintendo, they've announced that the Switch, the original Switch, is going to be increasing in price next week. So it's kind of odd. They said that for the time being, the Switch 2 is going to remain at its current price, but the Switch is increasing in price. And I think physical Switch games... No, I think physical Switch games are staying the same, but I think they said maybe some accessories and some other stuff might be going up. But right now, Switch 2 stuff is the same price for the time being. So we'll see what happens. But again, I'm glad I got my Switch 2 when I did, just in case. I'm seeing Josh Johnson stand up tonight and then hopefully hibernating for the rest of the weekend. I don't think I know Josh Johnson. Are you big Josh Johnson stan? I'm in full packing mode, so nothing really fun going on, just enjoying your stream. Well, I hope we can be a good background to the packing. Hope it keeps you company. Well, again, we'll see how it all goes today. What was I gonna say? He's pretty funny. He's a writer on The Daily Show. Oh, very cool. Then he must be very funny then. Yeah, I don't think I recognize his name, but I feel like I don't know a ton of comedians. That's not abnormal for me to not know somebody. But that's awesome. That's very cool. When are you going to be on the stage, Johnso? I'd like to remind you all, probably one of the goals that I really want to hit, which unfortunately is much later though, is I do have a stretch goal where I do a 5-minute stand-up comedy routine on stream. Part of me really hopes we reach that goal. Not just because of Australia stuff, but because I kind of want to see how I do. It could be good or it could be terrible. How many goals is that away? I think it's at least like 5 goals away. I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't have the list memorized, but I think it's a few. It was one of the last ones. But because Tapicado, Tap and I have joked about a tight 5 before, which is what I guess comedians call like a 5-minute set, like stand-up set. I think that's because I said some joke and Tap said something about that'd be great for my tight 5, and I was like, what is a tight 5? And he explained it to me. Anyway, so then it became this whole thing. And now it's become a thing where I was like, well, what if I did a stand-up routine? And so anyway, I'm curious. Part of me wants to read it because I'm like, would I be good at that? Or would I be terrible? So anyway, but I've got some ideas for it. Not like, what's funny is I don't have joke ideas. I have ideas for like what I'd love to do on stream for it. 5-minute stand-up set, and you add 5 minutes for every sub. Oh my gosh, that would be terrible because I would only plan for 5, and then do what for the increases. I thought about I would have like a new scene that would have like a brick wall. Because I think of like Seinfeld stand-up. Improvise, but I don't think I'm that good at improvisation. I'll do crowd work. That's what I'll do. I'll do crowd work for the additional minutes. How terrible would that be? Because I'd say something and then wait for a delay pure silence while that's happening. I'd create a scene. What's the deal with bee gifters? That's a cute mug, thank you. I've actually have a few Christmas mugs, but I don't think I've used this one on stream. Maybe once? I think I've used this once maybe, a few years ago, but it's not a regular mug I use. I want to have a brick wall, maybe put like a emblem on the wall that's like Jet's Comedy Club or whatever, you know. I need the Chuckle Shack. I need to think of like a Jet related name. And then I thought about having like a way for you guys to like like if someone does a lol emote, maybe there's like in the background like a small chuckle, like a quiet chuckle, and then the more people like use the lol emote, either it gets louder or there's like more like just general crowd laughs. So that way there's like, because the problem is going to be I'm going to be saying a joke, but there's no crowd to like give me any feedback. And then maybe there should be a boo. Maybe there should be a way you guys can say that was a bad joke. So I'll have to think about that. But I want some kind of crowd interaction, essentially. Jet's Comedy Runway. Actually, that's great. I could potentially make it, instead of a brick wall, it's like I try to see if I can find a picture of a runway. There's just a plane in the background. The set ends when the plane reaches me. And what else? Maybe I should have like some general like ambiance noises, like dishes clanging, you know, like, or like, you know, people eating, or like glasses like tinking, you know? So that way it sounds like, to give you guys the atmosphere that you're at like a comedy, you know, place. People eat at comedy shows, right? Is that a thing? Throw tomato! That's actually great. I wonder if I can find a tomato, like, stock animation. Surely somebody's made that. Surely somebody has made that. If not, I guess I could try, but I don't think it'd turn out great. Anyway, I think that'd be fun. But I'm kind of curious, like I come up with jokes, but I feel like a stand-up routine is different. There's like, because I also don't know, and I feel like Jonzo, I feel like you would know what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many different types of comedians, and like their material is so like unique to them, and like they found sort of like what their style is, that I don't know what my style is. So like I don't know, like I don't really know what I would write. And so some of it could be just terrible. Because there's like what's that one guy's name? He was on Taskmaster, British. That doesn't help. Both those things are synonymous with most of the people on Taskmaster. Redhead. I think you're a little subversive, dry, and absurdist. I think you're James Acaster. That is who I was thinking of. You know what? That's probably fair. That honestly probably describes me pretty well. It kind of, I think my raid videos are kind of I would say those three things. But the thing is, I don't know, like, I don't know, how do I turn that into, I need to like research like different comedians. I mean that, and I mean that with all love. They are great comedy styles. No, you are subversive, dry, and absurdist, non-derogatory. Jonzo always likes to say things that sound borderline. What was it? You're like, you'd like nerd rap or whatever it was, math. What was it? And you're like non-derogatory. And I looked up the definition. It's like everyone's like, this rap is for backpack rap. Yeah, that's what it was. They're like, this rap is for nerds. I was like, goodness. Okay, Jonzo. Non-derogatory. Yeah. Who do you think is a subversive comedian? Or what is there a comedian that you feel like matches my style? I will say, you know, probably one of my favorite comedians, but I wouldn't be able to do her like her style is very unique, but Maria Bamford is one of my favorite comedians. She is so funny, and like it's just but part of it is like the voices she does. I love Maria. Yeah, she's great. Her comedy is just so, it's just so unique and so like unexpected. Like I really never know what she's about to say. I don't know, it's so great. My favorite subversive comedian is also one-liner guy, Mitch Hedberg. I love Mitch Hedberg. He's great. I think one of my favorite jokes of his is like, rice is a good food to eat when you're hungry and you want 1 billion of something. He's just so great. Or was, I guess. Rest in peace. Jim Gaffigan is a bit in that same style. You know what? I know Jim Gaffigan is like fairly popular, and I've surely heard some of his sketches before. I don't think I like don't know him well enough to tell you a joke of his, but I know I've like heard some of his stuff. But so anyway, so some of that would be me just trying to figure out, I think, what is my like comedic style. You know, I don't even know. My fake plants died because I didn't pretend to water them. He's so great. Escalator broken. Uses stairs. Sorry for the convenience or whatever. I forget what the full joke is, but that's the gist of it. I also saw, you know, I think the only comedy show I have ever been to was Dimitri Martin. Escalator, temporarily stairs. Sorry for the convenience. Yeah, that's what it is. I saw Dimitri Martin, and he was incredibly funny. I like Dimitri Martin. He's very, very, very funny. He loves a good wordplay, and I'm here for it. I love a good, like, do you want a frozen banana? I don't think I know. Where is this Mitch or is this Dimitri Martin? No, but I would like a regular banana later. Okay, yeah, that's Mitch Hedberg for sure. Gosh, I also like Richard Ayoade is also very funny, and I think he's like, he says just some like hilarious jokes that I think what I like is a lot of his jokes seem to go unnoticed in a lot of things that I've seen him in. Like in Travel Man, where he has like a travel show. He says so many jokes that not even like the comedian he's with picks up on it. And like typically he'll say a joke in front of somebody who's like a local or something, like wherever they're at. And I don't think they realize that that was either a joke or that he is joking or whatever. Anyway, but his humor is so dry. But I love it. I love picking up on those jokes and being like, that is so funny. I wonder, it makes me wonder if I were to ever be around him. Not that I expect that I ever would. But it makes me wonder, like, would I notice those jokes in the moment? Or would I also be, like, confused? But he says so many things that I just love. Very British, stellar delivery. Yeah, he's fantastic. I love him. I rewatch his show Travel Man as like a comfort watch. Very good at like I'll like if I'm watching something, I'll just throw it on and I don't know. I love it. It's so like it's great. It's informative. You learn about the places, but then he takes you to really weird, strange places, and I don't know. I love it. But then also there is one of there are a few goals towards the end that I'm also looking forward to, which is another one is I said with one of the goals I will do a 10 episode podcast with like other streamers. Like I'll have a new guest for every podcast. I think that would just be fun. I think it'd be fun to have some friends on and just chat for like an hour or something. I think that'd be great. Moxie, welcome in. How are you? I'm doing good. Have you been well? Podcast would be super fun. Yeah, I think that'd be great. Like, I'd love to have Yvie on. I think he said he would be down with that. I've tried to get him to just like start a podcast with me in general, and he always says no. But I think he would be down for a single episode of a podcast, and I think that'd be great. Or maybe I could sneak him into two. Maybe I can have him like guest on one and then be a co-host in the other, and then that's how I get him. That's how I then hook him into the idea of doing a podcast. But well, I just got my first set of contact lenses. I'm learning to put them in. Ooh, good luck. I wear glasses. I don't have contacts though, because I don't like the idea of touching my eye. So good luck. But yeah, I think a podcast would be super fun. I think it'd be great. Get some people. I would need to figure out like what the general vibe is. Like, do I, you know, is it just like, cause we had like I've had like a stream I used to call the jet wave. I was like, wait, what is it called? Where I would interview other streamers on stream. And then I've kind of just stopped that. And so part of me is like, is it just an interview or is it like something else? Are we talking about a specific thing? I need to figure out the format. Anyway, I think that'd be very fun though. 10 episodes. And who knows? Maybe people like it. It becomes a thing. We'll see. I think it'd be fun. That wouldn't be live though. I would want to like record it and then post it somewhere. I think that'd be fun. It takes me an hour right now. I mean, that's fair. I don't like the idea of touching my eye, so it'd probably be the same for me. But no, I wear glasses. But I only need them for faraway things, so that's why I never wear them on stream, because my eyesight here is fine. But we'll get into crocheting here in like 10-15 minutes, something like that. So for those who are interested in that and want to watch you know, really struggle at a thing, just you wait. We're almost there. But what else is going on, friends? Anything fun? Anything exciting? Anything you're looking forward to? Trying to think if there hasn't been any game announcements, I don't think. I did buy a new game that I want to play at some point, but I don't know, because we need to finish Donkey Kong. We need to finish the Drifter. Maybe after that. I picked up a new farm sim game. I'm gonna look it up on my phone instead of pulling it up on my computer. Games. What's it called? It looked interesting to me. Where are you? Don't see it. Where's the game? I don't see it on my library. Where did you go? Maybe it didn't have an art on this for some reason. Where are you? Oh, Gaucho and the Grassland. Yeah, it doesn't have a cover on here for some reason. It's like an adventure with farming sim. Living as a Latin cowboy in the cozy highlands, the beach, and a magical world. And it looks very neat. I liked it. So I was like, I want to try that out. New Spider-Man movie teaser dropped. What? What? I haven't seen it. Did you watch the direct? I didn't. I did watch the direct. I thought it was okay. The direct was okay. Yeah. Square Enix spelled Elliot wrong. I thought about Cap. When they showed that, actually. Which I actually, you know what was funny? I just realized this, and then this could be overthinking, Jonzo, and you can tell him this the next time you talk to him. This might be overthinking, but his name was El Capitan. Was it because his name is Elliot? Is that why, or was it just, is it a coincidence? I had that realization yesterday as I was watching the thing. I was like, oh, it's like El Capitan. And I was like, wait, Elliot. Oh my goodness. Is that, was that supposed to be a clue in on his name? The direct was okay. There weren't as many things. Wait, it is? Is that really what it's supposed to be? I have never. That means in 5 years. I only just put that together now. Anyway, please tell him that next time you talk to him. Because I was just because it's obviously like El Capitan, like that makes sense on its own. But then I just realized it's like Elliot Captain. Anyway, All right, smart. That's a good name. I like that. I was gonna say though, there were a lot of trailers for like games that, a lot of trailers for games that like are sort of like big franchise titles, kind of like, because wasn't there like a Madden? There wasn't FIFA, but there was like another soccer game. There was like some NBA game. Like it was sort of like a lot of third-party ones that are, I would say, more broad, but don't necessarily interest me. I think Hella looked interesting, which is the one where you play as the mouse. That looks fun. That seems like that would be kind of my style of game. I like that Plants vs. Zombies is getting something, but I don't think it's apparently going to be about $20. I don't think it's worth that, because I doubt I'll be playing the multiplayer, because it's local co-op. I sent him a message and said, I want to see the Adventures of Elliot, the Millennial Tales. Cause yeah, I thought of him too when I saw that. The Adventures of Elliot, that like, it looks interesting. Octopath Traveler, or Zero, I never played the other one, but I'm sure people are excited about that. There's the Hyrule Warriors game, they showed that, and I am kind of looking forward to it. I'm at this point, like, I think I'll play it because I think I'll enjoy it more than I like Tears of the Kingdom. But part of me is also like, am I going to enjoy the game? Because I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy it, because there's a lot of characters that I'm not going to know who they are or whatever. But maybe it'd be fun just speculating. As an American football lover, I'm putting the Madden. Are you going to pick it up? Was the Direct mostly just Switch 2 games? They had some regular Switch games as well. They had a thing where it was like, before the game was shown, it would say if it was... It would show an icon for the regular Switch if it was also on that as well. So it was mixed. But it was mostly it was a third-party Direct, so most of it, you know, was like non-Nintendo-y stuff. But again, there was the Zelda game. The Borderlands 4, I don't think I would... I do want to play. I don't think I'd pick it up on the Switch. Apex is being brought over to the Switch, too. Can't remember what else was announced, but it wasn't as, like, exciting overall. Age of Imprisonment. I'm excited. I'm just excited they're finally making a Zelda game that takes place in America. Hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I was like, surely there's gonna be some stuff that I'm missing, but we really are in the Age of Imprisonment, are we not? I haven't purchased a Madden since 2016. I'm protesting. I'm protesting with you. I don't think I've ever bought a Madden game. Gee, welcome in. How goes crafting? We haven't started yet, but I'm sure it's gonna go terribly. We'll start here in like 5 minutes though. I'm trying my tight 5 in your chat. Sorry, lol. No, that's great. You see, that's the thing is, should I do video game adjacent jokes, or, you know, I don't know. I believe in you. I don't believe in me. I definitely don't believe in me. I already watched some of the videos of the video tutorial. Already overwhelmed and already have anxiety just watching the tutorial. So I don't think it, like I said in the Discord announcement, we'll go until I crash out, and then we'll do something else. You're such a nice guy that I'm half expecting your stand-up to just be the darkest humor ever. I do have fairly dark humor. It comes out every once and again. So it wouldn't be that odd, but I don't necessarily use a lot of my dark humor here. Occasionally I will, but I don't use a lot of my dark humor in my stream. So it just sort of depends. We'll kind of just see. There might be some of that. I try to tailor my jokes to stream, but then again, I'd like to remind you all, there was the mass exodus of followers and viewers after some people didn't like my I would say it's borderline dark humor. It's darker humor than I normally do, but there was a stream where I made jokes about my laugh and how I didn't like it, and we joked about changing my laugh. I read a guide on how to change one's laugh. Some people got very upset, very angry, in fact, about it. It got very heated in chat. Laughgate, yeah. We forget about Laughgate. And I had multiple people unfollow after that. A lot of those people have not returned from that stream. Crazy. It was it was a thing. It took me a few days to realize it, but I was like, oh, we lost some peeps. So anyway, so people couldn't handle the humor. They got, it was too dark, I guess. I don't know if it was dark, if you consider that dark, but I feel like maybe. Anyway, they probably clipped your laugh and listened to it on repeat. Yeah, they probably. It's what lulls them to sleep now. But yeah, I still don't fully understand, like, their reasoning, but it's whatever, I guess. There are plenty of people, there are plenty other streamers, plenty of streamers in the sea for them to watch. So, you know, more power to them. I hope they found somebody whose laugh they appreciate. And secondary stretch goal, Jet After Dark comedy hour that includes the dark humor. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we'll do, if we have the tight 5 that's normal, and then if we reach another donation goal within that stream, then it unlocks the dark comedy hour. And then, or not hour, not comedy hour, that's too long. The dark a tight 5. Yeah, but no one laughs at those streamers. One would think, but I feel like they're probably doing better than me. Call it Jet's Dark Roast, and you roast your favorite games. I feel like I'd be roasting myself mostly. I don't know if I could roast my favorite games. I feel like there's some things I could roast. I feel like most of my dark humor is definitely like inward focused. So that's, I think it's like, I'm already self-deprecating. I think my dark humor is like, is a lot of, it's self-deprecating than to a increased degree. So I think that's what I would that's the expectation I would set, is that it would, like, you know, it's gonna be like just another higher level, even more brutal, probably. But anyway, that'd be fun. I think it could be fun. We have to reach that goal. Let me check. It's a few away. It is 7 away. 7 goals away. I don't think we're gonna get there. I could like maybe swap it with something, but it would still be like 6 away. So anyway. But the 10 episode mini podcast is only like 4 away, so that's actually not too bad. I'm super self-deprecating, and I can tell it bothers my loved ones. Like no one can roast me like me. That's How long do we have to achieve it? We'll see. Yeah, I made a bunch of them for my birthday stream, and it was kind of one of those things where it was like, I'd rather over prepare than under prepare, and then just like not have a goal. So I was like, I'm just gonna create a bunch of goals. I don't expect that we're gonna reach it. And then after the birthday stream, I was like, well, some people really wanted some of these things. We could just use them. We could just do them as stretch goals until the trip happens. So we likely, when the trip happens, that's like probably up until the trip. That's when we have to fundraise it. So, yeah. Which there may be news on that soon, but yeah, so I made like a whole bunch of stuff, and honestly, I am incredibly surprised how far through the stretch goals we have achieved. Are you going in Australia in summer or winter? I think the goal is spring. So, or like right before it gets very hot. So this year. So, but I am super self-deprecating. I think it does bother some people. But it's also like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's fine. I feel like it's fine. It's my sense of humor. You know, it is what it is. So people typically either have to accept it or not, which is fine. If that's just like not your humor, I totally get it, but it's who I am. I will make fun of myself, but I would also rather make fun of myself than make fun of somebody else. So like I generally don't like to make fun of other people. So yeah, I'll make fun of me. Cause I know then what the joke about me is, which then obviously I'm comfortable with it being a joke, if that makes sense, you know? Versus like if someone was just making fun of me, that'd be different. But like if I'm making fun of me, it's sort of like, well, I have control over the joke and whatever. But but I also think it's very funny because I think I can be truthful in it. I can handle my jokes. No one can get in my head. I've taken up all the room. Exactly. I'm the yeah, 100%. So yeah, no, I'm very self-deprecating, but I think I could do like a tight 5 that's like normal, and another set that's like, this is this is for those that want to hear some darker humor slash you know, probably even more self-deprecation. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit my mic. This mug is like a bit wider than I'm used to. Just such an odd shape. The handle is also like ginormous. Like it's like the width of it is like way too wide. I find. I think they struggled because it's like this part is also like is rounded, so they didn't know how to make the handle, and so it's like it's a bit wonky. I don't like it. I like mugs where I can fit like my whole hand in it, and I can't do that. It's sort of weird. What's the deal with capitalist raccoons? I am on the opinion that Nook is, Tom Nook is misunderstood. I think he gets a bad rap. When he is actually, like, yeah, he's a lot better than people, like, give him credit for. Have a shark-shaped mug, and the tail fin definitely gets in the way. Yeah, I have some, like, novelty mugs, sort of similar to like the snowman mug that I have here. I've started to stop buying them because they're either so difficult to drink out of, or there's just like something about it that just I don't like. I have a Spider-Man mug that is Spider-Man's head, and it is impossible to drink out of. I don't use it anymore to drink, because it's like it has like the way the mug is shaped as you're drinking out of it, like the lip of the mug is like curved quite a bit, and so the drink just sort of pools a little bit before going over the like lip of the mug, and so I feel like I spill coffee on myself all the time when I'm drinking out of it, because it's also incredibly wide too, because it's his head, and so it's like it just is terrible to drink out of. But yeah, it looks cool. But anyway, I've kind of started to lean away from the novelty mugs. I used to collect mugs. I'm gonna need an Australia mug though when I'm there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need a straw, because it's like, you know, it's rough. But, okay, friends, I feel like I can't delay any longer. I feel like I can't. I don't think I'm allowed to delay any longer. So, let us. Let us get into some crocheting. Alright. We are going to go right over here. Whee! I didn't plan to put chat on the screen. I don't know if we want chat on the screen or not. Technically chat is on the screen because you're on my iPad, but during the winter, our neighbor made chili and gave me and my wife some in a Venom head mug. His tongue is the handle. It had the same lip. I ended up dumping half the chili on the floor. Oh no, that sounds awful. That's rough because, like, like, you know, chili. I mean, coffee also stains, but like chili tomato, that is like, you know, stains. It's very cool looking. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I like those mugs because they're like, they look cool. Like I have a cool fox mug that I really like. That one's not too bad drinking out of it though. I'm trying to think what else I have that's like more novelty shaped. I have an owl one that's kind of hard to drink out of. But yeah, I've started to like lean away from some of those because I was like, it just becomes a pain drinking out of them. But you can use them as decoration. I used to have what are those called? Not a cork board. You see them in garages a lot. For like hanging tools. You know what I'm talking about? They have the little holes. A pegboard, yes. I had one of those. Yes. I used, in one of the old places that I lived, I had that as a thing in my kitchen. And I had mugs hanging off of it. I always like used my like sort of like the coolest looking mugs that I had. Yeah, I actually, so that Spider-Man mug I actually started to use in the last time I worked in an office. I used that as a on desk like pen holder thing. One, I forgot we should run ads before we get into this. So we're gonna run ads. We're gonna BRB. So if you need to stand up, stretch, etc., now is a perfect time to go do so. And then we will be right back with some crocheting. So, let me do this. We'll continue listening to our Christmas music in the BRB. I think, do I have Spotify over here? I don't. Hold on. I do now. All right. So that'll continue. All right.
Take this pause to rejuvenate. Stand. Stretch. Hydrate. We will be back in just a few moments.
And welcome back, everybody! So we are going to attempt a crochet project. We're going to be doing this guy, Joe the Coffee Mug. Speaking of coffee mugs, and so we're going to see how it goes. We have our yarns. I don't think I need this. Everything's included. Yarn, step-by-step videos, pre-started piece. Okay. Maybe it's like in this. 4mm crochet hook, stuffing, plastic eyes, yarn needle, online instructions. Oh, I need to open up the guide. Okay. So yeah, this is what we're doing, everybody. Let me, that way you guys, if somebody comes in, they know what we're doing. We also have, like, the fluff. Put that there. There's a bunch of things in here. The eyes and stuff. I feel like... feel like we're just gonna see how it goes. I have watched a bit already of the so last night I put into OBS every video so you guys can see what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing, and already started to feel incredibly overwhelmed and anxious about what this is. I think I didn't quite realize how much went into crocheting. So I feel like yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Yes. Oh, there's the crochet hook. I've got that. I'm gonna put the needle just there, just in case. I don't think we need any of this stuff at this point, so I'm going to just keep you here. Doing a wooble, wait, newfound appreciation for the craft. Sure. Yeah, it definitely is much harder than I think one would imagine. Doing a wooble made me think crocheting was easy and I could crochet anything. That is not the case. I have several unfinished projects now, and some of that I don't have the skills to begin. It's funny, I think, yeah, watching some of it, I was already like just a big sigh. And just like, also, the whole, like, instructions, the pattern following that is already, like, already has me, like, so over it. Just seeing the, like, in brackets, SC, INC, close brackets, times 6, 18. I am, like, I don't, like, I get what it's saying, but I already am, like, why can't this be easy? Just proves how much I enjoyed the stream with all the crochet stuff I've made. It's very true that, yeah, Sassy has made quite a few crochet projects just for me, and I really appreciate it. Had to watch some of the steps on the wooble 15 times before I understood what to do. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to do that. Okay. So... trying to figure out if there's even a good way to, like... I believe in you. I'm glad you do. All right. Hold on, let me hide these. So I have
With this kit,
all the videos here. So you guys can listen along, watch along.
you're going to learn how to crochet and in the process make a cute little plushie. This is Joe the mug. And we'll begin making the mug starting with the pre-started piece that came in your kit. And then we'll learn how to make the handle and the coffee, then attach those pieces and embroider a cute little face.
Why couldn't they just send me that? So that was video 1. So that's just saying.
With any Woobles kit, you're going to be doing more than just pass the time. You're going to be learning a new skill. So if this is your first time crocheting, that means you're probably going to make mistakes, and that is totally okay. If you run into trouble, just tap on the help icon at the bottom of the screen to find videos to help you troubleshoot common issues. Or simply pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball so that you get reset back to your pre-started piece so you can start anew. And with that, remember to have fun and let's get wooblin'.
Oh boy. Okay. Let me also. We don't need these.
I'm going to be demoing most of these videos using blue yarn. You have the same type of yarn in your kit, so you should be able to follow along. You might just need to use a different color depending on which wooble you have. Take the big yarn ball out of your kit and look in the middle of it. There should be a piece that looks like it's already been crocheted and has some plastic things on it. Leave the plastic things in the piece intact. You're going to pull that yarn out. And if that yarn's actually coming from the outside of your ball and this label is getting in the way, feel free to take the label out. You don't actually need it to keep this ball together. All right, so what we are going to do is wrap this yarn around our left hand. So take your left palm, face it to you, hold the piece in front of your palm, and watch the yarn that's connected to the yarn ball. You're gonna wrap that once around your pinky. So now the piece is behind your fingers. And then bring the yarn over your index finger and then hold onto the piece with your thumb and your middle finger. And you want to try to keep the yarn draped on your index finger towards the back third of your finger, close to your knuckle. That way, when you're crocheting, the yarn won't easily slip off of your finger.
Okay, I think I have that. I think I've done it. All right.
Now that you have the yarn draped on your hand, you want to make sure that you're holding your piece in the correct orientation. If you think of this piece like a coin, there is the concept of a head versus tail, and an up and down. So you want to have this little loop in the upper right hand corner, and then the orange stitch marker immediately to its left. And then the green stitch markers are to the left of that. You also want to move this cutoff piece of yarn in case it's in front of your piece. You want to move it to the back, under and behind the yarn that is draped on your finger.
Okay, done. I've realized the camera's so far away. I feel like you guys can't see it as well, but that's okay.
The reason why we're in this awkward position is because we want to control the tension between your index finger and the piece. Having an even tension is going to make your stitches look even, and it's going to make it easy for you to crochet. So if it's feeling like it's too loose, like there's too much slack, just move your index finger away from you to make it tighter. And if it feels too tight, just move your finger closer. And if it's like super loose and even pulling your finger away doesn't help, just keep pulling on the yarn connected to the yarn ball until everything tightens up.
Okay, so we're learning a lot of basics right now.
Last step to get into crocheting position, pick up your hook and stick it into the little loop from the right to the left or from the bottom up, depending on how your loop is currently positioned. Now you're in crocheting position.
I am in crocheting position. Position engaged.
We're gonna learn how to make what's called a single crochet stitch. This is the basic stitch in crochet, and it's what most of your plushie is made of. So you've got your hook in this little loop, and the first thing you need to do is figure out what hole to put the hook into. Luckily, we have these plastic things to help. You want to put your hook in exactly the same hole as this orange stitch marker. If you were to look at the rim of your piece, you would see that the orange stitch marker is under 2 strands of yarn that kind of look like a horizontal V. So you want to put your hook in the hole directly below that horizontal V, in the hole that is marked by this orange stitch marker.
What? I need you to say it.
We're going to learn how to make what's called a single crochet stitch. This is the basic stitch in crochet, and it's what most of your plushie is made of. So you've got your hook in this little loop, and the first thing you need to do is figure out what hole to put the hook into. Luckily, we have these plastic things to help. You want to put your hook in exactly the same hole as this orange stitch marker. If you were to look at the rim of your piece, you would see that the orange stitch marker is under 2 strands of yarn that kind of look like a horizontal V. So you want to put your hook in the hole directly below that horizontal V, in the hole that is marked by this orange stitch marker.
Okay. I think I understand.
So pull the orange stitch marker all the way off to the left so it's out of your way. And then put your hook immediately to the right of that so that the hook is under those 2 strands of yarn that look like a horizontal V. So now it should look like there's 3 strands of yarn on your hook. You want to make sure the tip of the hook is facing you and the hook is in front of the working yarn.
Okay. Wait, what? It's
So
in front?
pull the hook is in front
don't
of
know
the
what
working
is.
yarn. So
Okay.
pull the orange stitch marker all the way.
Okay.
Now we're going to do what's called a yarn over. We're going to bring the hook down and under the working yarn and then put it behind the working yarn. The goal is to grab the yarn with the tip of your hook. So you'll need to make sure that the tip of your hook is still facing you. And when you're doing that motion, try to only move your hook hand. Resist the urge to use your yarn hand to pull the yarn onto the hook.
Okay.
Next, you're going to pull the hook through the hole that the hook just went into. So just those first 2 loops on the hook. And it's really common when you're first learning how to crochet to get your hook snagged in the yarn, so I'm going to give you some tips on how to do this. So first, you want to pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to artificially make the hole that the hook needs to go through a little bigger. Then you want to rotate the tip of your hook from facing you to facing where the yarn meets the rest of the piece. So that should be about 90 degrees down. Then, when you pull the hook through, you want to try to pull your hook parallel to your body. Do not wiggle it around. This is what will get your hook snagged on yarn. So, the moment you clear those first 2 loops on your hook, rotate your hook to face you again so that the new loop that you just brought through stays on your hook, and then push your hook off to the left so that this new loop is also safely towards the base of your hook. Lastly, pull your hook a little bit away from the piece so that this new loop looks.
None of this is making sense to me.
Next, you're going to pull the
have to
hook
rewatch
through the
all of
hole
that
that
again.
the hook just went into. So just those first 2 loops on the hook. And it's really common when you're first learning how to crochet to get your hook snagged in the yarn, so I'm going to give you some tips on how to do this. So first, you want to pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to artificially make the hole that the hook needs to go through a little bigger. Then you want to rotate the tip of your hook from facing you to facing where the yarn meets the rest of the piece. So that should be about 90 degrees down. Then, when you pull the hook through, you want to try to pull your hook parallel to your body. Do not wiggle it around. This is what will get your hook snagged on yarn. So, the moment you clear those first 2 loops on your hook, rotate your hook to face you again so that the new loop that you just brought through stays on your hook, and then push your hook off to the left so that this new loop is also safely towards the base of your hook. Lastly, pull your hook a little bit away from the piece so that this new loop looks like it's basically the same size as the old loop.
Okay, I think I have that. Alright.
You should have 2 loops on your hook now, which means that you're halfway through the stitch that's called the single crochet stitch. Let's pause and make sure that these loops are a good size so that it'll be easy for you to finish this stitch. So tilt your piece so that you're looking at the hook head on. And if you left the tip of the hook facing you, you actually want to rotate the tip of the hook down to face the piece again. Because what I want to show you is that we want to make this loop that's on the hook, this new loop, be basically the same size as the tip of the hook. That way we know it'll be easy for the hook to go in and out of that loop. So if that loop is too tight, too small, all you got to do is pull the hook away from you. And then if that loop is too big, just pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball to make it smaller.
I do not know, but we'll move on. I think it's fine.
All right, so we've checked that these loops are a good size, that they're basically the same size as the tip of the hook. We've got 2 loops on our hook and we are halfway through the single crochet stitch. To finish it, we're going to do another yarn over. So you have your hook in front of your working yarn, the tip of the hook facing you. Bring your hook down under that yarn and then behind it so that you can grab onto the working yarn with the tip of your hook.
Okay.
Now pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to temporarily make the loops on your hook a little bit bigger so that it's easier for your hook to make it through these loops. Then rotate
Hey,
your
Mr.
hook
Oz,
from
welcome
facing
in. How
you
are
to
you?
facing where the yarn meets the rest of the piece. And then pull this yarn through both loops on the hook. So move your hook parallel to your body. Don't wiggle it around. The moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push the hook off to the left so that this new loop is safely towards the base of your hook. And then pull the hook a little bit away from you so that the loop on the hook becomes a little bit bigger.
I think I have that. It's really confusing in the beginning, but it does get easier as you go along. Sure.
If you've only
I
got
believe
1
you.
loop left on the hook, then congrats, you have finished the single crochet stitch, and you can move on to the next video. If you don't think you did that correctly though, you can do 2 things. 1, you can reset back to the pre-started piece that came in your kit and go back in the videos to follow along again. All you gotta do is take the hook out and then pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball until it doesn't unravel anymore. Or you can tap on the help icon below.
There's no help icon.
Now we're gonna make what's called an increase stitch. To turn this single crochet stitch into an increase stitch, we're just gonna do exactly what we did and do it in exactly the same hole. So we're gonna make a second single crochet stitch in the same hole. Before we do that, let's just double check we're set up to be able to easily move our hook through the loop that's on it by tilting our piece so we can take a look at the loop relative to the size of the tip of the hook. Remember, we want this loop to be basically the same diameter as the tip of the hook. And if it isn't, either move your hook away from you or pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball to make it a good size.
Okay, I think I have that. Sure.
So you've got 1 loop on your hook, and to start this second single crochet stitch, you need to put your hook in exactly the same hole as the previous single crochet stitch went into. That hole is the hole that is marked by the orange stitch marker. So pull that orange stitch marker off to the left so it's out of your way, and then stick the hook in the same hole immediately to the right of the orange stitch marker. And it should look like you've got 3 strands of yarn on your hook, because that hole was under 2 strands of yarn that look like a horizontal V. You want to make sure the tip of your hook is facing you and the hook is in front of the working yarn.
Okay. I think we're there.
Now yarn over. That means bring your hook down under and behind the working yarn. Keep the tip of the hook facing you so that you can grab onto the yarn with the tip of your hook.
Yes.
Now you're going to bring this yarn back through the hole that the hook just went into. So pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to make that hook temporarily a little bigger. Rotate the hook from facing you to facing the piece, and then pull the hook parallel to your body. And the moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again, push it off to the left, and then pull the hook a little bit away from you so that the new loop is about the same size as the old loop.
I think I have that. I think it's there. I don't know if it looks as good.
You should have 2 loops on your hook now, and let's just check real quick that these loops are a good size by tilting the piece and taking a look at how the loop compares to the tip of the hook. You want the loop to be basically the same size as the tip of the hook. That's how you're going to make sure that all the V's that you make are roughly the same size.
I feel like it looks fine to me. I don't, but I don't
Be in
know.
front of the working yarn, and we're going to do a yarn over again. So bring the hook down under and then behind the working yarn with the tip of the hook facing you.
Okay.
Now pull the hook and the piece away from each other to make the loops on the hook temporarily a little bigger, and then rotate the hook from facing you to facing the piece. Now pull the yarn through both loops on the hook and move your hook parallel to your body. The moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push the hook off to the left so this new loop is safely towards the base of your hook, and then pull the hook a little bit away from you so that this new loop becomes a little bit bigger.
I feel like this doesn't look right, but I'm fairly positive I followed the instructions correctly.
If you only have 1 loop left on your hook, then congrats! You have finished the increased stitch. You can move on to the next video. If you feel like you didn't do that correctly though,
It's fine.
before we continue, we're gonna pause for a bit to make sure that we wind up with a wooble instead of a doily. So we're actually gonna take our hook out of the piece, and before we do that, we're gonna pull the hook away from the piece so that the loop on the hook becomes really big. That way you have some leeway in case you're clumsy like me and accidentally pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball. You don't want to accidentally lose any of your work. And now you can take your hook out of your piece and you can let go of the yarn.
Okay.
So you're going to want to get in the habit of always using a stitch marker to mark the first stitch at whatever round you're on. When you're crocheting in these spirals, you can't actually easily tell where one circle ends and one circle begins. That's part of what makes this look really good, but you as the crocheter could really easily get lost. That's why we use stitch markers to tell us where every circle or round begins. That way, if we ever make a mistake, we only ever have to go back to the stitch that's marked by the stitch marker. So we need to move the orange stitch marker to mark the first V of round 2. Right now, it is in the first V of round 1. So how do we find the first V of round 2? First, let us flip the circles that we're looking at the room. So you can think of it as turning the page of a book. And you've got the loop that was for your hook at the very top. That loop traces back into a V. That V is the second stitch that you made. The first V that you made is the V below that. It should be right above this horizontal line, which is actually a knot we made in your pre-started piece, so that in case you mess up and you want to start over again, you can just pull on the yarn and get right back to it. So the V that's right above that horizontal line is the one that you want to move the orange stitch marker under. So take a good look. Unclip the stitch marker like a safety pin, and then put that stitch marker under that second V, this one. So you want the stitch marker to go under only the 2 strands that represent this V, and it doesn't matter which way you put the stitch marker in as long as it is under that V.
What?
This swarthy, bearded man before you. will suit
Shadow
your
Panthers,
fourth
thank you so much for the
favorite
follow. Welcome in. How
So
are
we
you?
need to move the orange stitch marker to mark the first V of round 2. Right now, it is in the first V of round 1. So how do we find the first V of round 2? First, let us flip the circle so that we're looking at the room. So you can think of it as turning the page of a book. And you've got the loop that was for your hook at the very top. That loop traces back into a V. That V is the second stitch that you made. The first V that you made is the V below that. It should be right above this horizontal line, which is actually a knot we made in your pre-started piece, so that in case you mess up and you want to start over again, you can just pull on the yarn and get right back to it.
Devin! Welcome in, everybody. How are you? You've come in at a time. Hello. Oh, and Cretin, the double raid. Welcome in. How are you all? Appreciate it. Oh gosh. Friends, welcome in. I have a short video to play for you. Enjoy. Hi Raiders, I'm Jet, your fourth favorite streamer. Yeah, fourth. You know, the guy you end up with when your favorites are offline and you misclicked my channel. Before we dive in, Snapsicles, this is a family-friendly stream. Please keep your chats cozy and clean or my mods will be on you like a pack of wild pumas. Looking for a triple threat? Gaming, chatting, and looks? Well, let me tell you why I'm called Triple Jet. When it comes to gaming, we dive into puzzles, indie games, RPGs, and mysteries. But the biggest mystery of all will be why you're still watching. Like to chat? Well, we get so derailed it's like we're a train to nowhere and I'm your conductor. Choo choo. And when it comes to looks, I am like the solar eclipse, best not to look at. Now, if you want a good streamer, follow the creators I just linked in chat. They will obliterate my stream like a snap from Thanos. Mr. Bezos, I don't feel so good. But if you like the wonderfully wrecked vibe of a beat-up pinata, then you're in the right place. The candy's mostly gone, but we can still keep it sweet. So drop a follow and we'll make this siesta fiesta the absolute besta. Got a Jet?
So we need to move the orange stitch marker to mark the first.
Welcome in, everybody. How are you? How was the rest of stream? Let's see. And I don't know if it did Cretin's shout out. If it didn't, did it do? I don't think it did, but I have to wait 30 seconds before I can do Cretin's. But welcome in. How was the rest of Ready or Not? How did it go? Mercedes, welcome in. Cody, hello. Devin, thank you for the raid. Spicy, welcome in. Hello, how are you? The double raid, Credden, welcome in. Kelly, hello. Welcome in, everybody. Kyla, I didn't get sent in the raid. No, it's okay. Welcome in. I'm glad you made your way here. Glad you made your way here. Let me see if that works now. There we go. Friends, if you're not following, did it do the normal shout out for you? It didn't. It only did goodness. Here. If you're not following Player 4, aka Devin, or you're not following Ozzy Cretin, please do. You guys would love them. Very entertaining, very fun, high energy streamers. They've been doing a lot of co-streams together. Go drop them a follow. I think you guys would love it there. How was Ready or Not? We are Merry Christmas. We are doing Christmas in Joggust. This was supposed to happen last Friday, but it didn't. So we're doing it now. So we are doing kind of a cozy stream. We're listening to Christmas tunes. And crocheting. I've never crocheted a thing before, and I don't know if by the end of today's stream if I will have crocheted something. I think we're gonna follow the instructions as best we can, and then when I crash out, we can just stop there. And then we can just stop there and have a time playing something else or doing something else. Had to walk here. I'm sorry, Kyla. Hopefully it wasn't that long of a walk. Dev's PC just crashed? No, well, post raid, so at least it didn't happen while you guys were streaming then. Joggust, yeah, we're in Joggust now. Ready or Not was tough. It seems difficult. It seems like a very tough game. I've watched, I can't remember if I told you guys this, but I had a friend who played it like when it first came out. But he was like he was actually in the Australian military. And so he played it and was very like, you know, like tactical, like, you know, clear the rooms, like entered each room, like making, you know, I forget what it's called, but like clearing blind spots and all of that. And so, anyway, so I was like, this is a game that I cannot play. But anyway, yeah, it seems very difficult. He also was going for S's every time, so I think that was his deal. So maybe he was like elevating the difficulty quite a bit, but love Christmas. I'm a big Christmas fan too, so I'm here for it. I am, you know, always down. I've got a snowman mug. You've done 2 stitches. You're a crocheter. We'll see how far it goes, because I mean, there's going to be a lot of repeat of this, but I could not tell you what we've done. So, we're likely. We're just gonna see what happens. 146 days until Christmas, and you know, we actually have a command for that, but I haven't updated it, so it just says like how long Christmas was ago. Nightbot is one of our bots, but hold on. Let me sign in. Let me update this. But how's the rest of the stream? How's the rest of you guys? Everybody, welcome in. Where's Christmas? There it is. Edit. 2025. There we go. So now, 4 months, 23 days, 8 hours, 11 minutes, and 21 seconds till Christmas. But it is a state of mind. Stupid Smarch weather. Apt Cruiser, welcome in. How are you? It's nearly 6:30 a.m. I'm running to bed. Cretin, please go to sleep. Thank you so much for bringing the raid in. I very much appreciate it. We will keep doing this until I crash out, and then we might do something else. But I hope you have a great sleep. Thanks for bringing your peeps here. Appreciate it. Friends, I know what it's like after watching a stream end. And so raiders, if you just need to raid and run, appreciate it. Thank you for coming in on the raid. Always kind of you to do. If you need to lurk, you need to grab a snack, grab a drink, please make sure you take care of yourself. We will be here crocheting some things, or trying to, and then we will stop when I've had enough. So we're following along to these different videos. It's not very exciting. So you know, if you're I know the energy difference and tone difference is going to be very different from what you just came from. But that's okay. I understand if there are other people who need to go watch, or need to just go do anything else, like go water your llamas. We will continue on, because I don't know what she's talking about.
Of round 2. Right now, it is in the first V of round 1. So how do we find the first V of round 2? First, let us flip the circles that we're looking at the rune, so you can think of it as turning the page of a book. And you've got the loop that was for your hook at the very top.
Lainey woke me up early,
that
but otherwise
traces
good.
Back into a V.
Well, I hope
that V is the second
if you
stitch
need
that
to
you
take a
made.
nap, I hope you get one.
The first V that you made is the V below that. It should be right above this horizontal line, which is actually a knot we made in your pre-started piece, so that in case you mess up and you want to start over again, you can just pull on the yarn and get right back to it.
But hello,
So
Lainey.
the V that's right above that horizontal line is the one that you want to move the orange stitch marker under. So take a good look.
Under.
Unclip the stitch marker like a safety pin, and then put that stitch marker under that second V, this one. So you want the stitch marker to go under only the 2 strands that represent this V. And it doesn't matter which way you put the stitch marker in, as long as it is under that V.
Okay. I think it's under the right one. Oh gosh. Okay, we're gonna say that's good. Most of what this has been is we're gonna call this good and then move on to the next
Before we get
video.
back into crocheting position, let's get oriented. We want the big loop for your hook to be in the upper right hand corner. And since we moved the orange stitch marker, now the orange stitch marker should be to the right and under this loop for your hook. The green stitch markers, though, are still off to the left.
Yes. We're there.
Now put your hook in the loop. There is a right way and a wrong way to put it in. The way you tell is that when you pull on the yarn connected to the yarn ball, the yarn that moves should be the yarn that's closer to you, the one on top of the hook. That way, your yarn won't be twisted. You want to pull it until the hook is almost right next to the piece. Remember, you want the loop on your hook to be about the same size as the tip of your hook, not this part, which is narrower.
Okay. How are you at fixing technology? It depends.
Now you need to
Probably
hold on to the yarn with your
Only
other hand.
stuff that I can.
And this time I'm going to
interact
show
with.
you a tip, which is you want to start wrapping the yarn as close as possible to your piece. So up here instead of down here. Because that way, if you pick up the yarn really close to the piece, then it's much easier to adjust the tension between your finger and your piece. I'm going to show you real
Zowie.
quick how to get the yarn back on your hand. Take your left palm, face it to you. Hold the piece in front of your palm so that you can wrap the yarn that's connected to the yarn ball once around your pinky, starting from being in front of your palm and now winding up behind all of your fingers. Now you want to drape that yarn over your index finger and hold on to the piece with your thumb and your middle finger. Then if you have the yarn tail, the cutoff piece of yarn, just make sure it's somewhere behind your piece so it's out of the way.
Okay, I think we're there.
Before moving on, let's just make sure that your piece is in the right direction. You want your hook to be in the upper right hand corner. The orange stitch marker is now below it and on the right side of the circle, and the green stitch markers are still on the left side of the circle.
Yeah.
We're going to make a second increase stitch together, and this time we're going to focus on learning how to figure out where to put the hook next. So taking a look at the yarn that's on your hook, that yarn traces back into 2 loops, 1 and 2. The first loop actually goes into a hole, this hole. That's the hole that you just finished making a stitch in. So you want to put your hook in the hole to the left of that, but not just any hole. You want to put it in the hole that is directly under the next horizontal V. So you probably have to tilt your piece a little bit to be able to see the rim and to be able to see that horizontal V. Hopefully the hole that you thought you needed to put your hook into matches up with the hole that this green stitch marker is in.
What? I don't think I know which one you're talking about. Replay.
We're going to make a second increase stitch together, and this time we're going to focus on learning how to figure out where to put the hook next. So taking a look at the yarn that's on your hook, that yarn traces back into 2 loops, 1
Yes.
and 2. The first loop actually goes into a hole, this hole. That's the hole that you just finished making a stitch in. So you want to put your hook in the hole to the left of that, but not just any hole. You want to put it in the hole that is directly under the next horizontal V. So you probably have to tilt your piece a little bit to be able to see the rim and to be able to see that horizontal V. Hopefully the hole that you thought you needed to put your hook into matches up with the hole that this green stitch marker is in.
Okay.
So now we're gonna start the second increase stitch in round 2. Make sure you still have that loop on your hook, and then pull the green stitch marker all the way off to the left so it's out of the way, and you can see the hole where you need to put your hook into. Put your hook into that hole from the front to the back of the piece so that it looks like you've got 3 strands of yarn on your hook, and your hook is in front of the working yarn with the tip of the hook facing you.
All right, we're there.
Next, yarn over. Remember, this means bringing the hook below and behind the yarn with the tip of the hook facing you. Then you're going to bring this yarn through just the first 2 strands of yarn on the hook. To do that, pull the piece and the hook away from each other while you rotate the tip of the hook to face the piece, and then pull the hook parallel to you. The moment you clear it, rotate the hook to face you again, and then push the hook off to the left, and then pull the hook away from you to make this new loop about the same size as the original loop on your hook.
Okay.
You should now have 2 loops on your hook, and that means that you're halfway done with the first single crochet stitch that makes up half of the increase stitch. So let's just take a look and make sure that the loop is roughly the same size as the tip of the hook to make sure we're going to be making nice and even stitches moving forward.
Okay. Next.
Yarn over again. Remember, this means bringing the hook below and behind the working yarn. And we're going to bring this yarn through both loops on the hook this time. So pull the piece and the hook in opposite directions to temporarily make the loops on the hook a little bit bigger. Rotate the hook down so that it's facing the piece. Pull the hook parallel to your body, and the moment you clear those 2 loops, rotate the hook to face you again. Push it off to the left and pull the hook a little away from you so that this loop on your hook becomes a little bit bigger.
Okay.
If you only have 1 loop left on your hook, then congrats, you have finished the first single crochet stitch, so you're halfway done with the increase stitch.
Halfway done?
To complete the increase stitch, we need to put a second single crochet stitch in exactly the same hole. So to find that hole, take a look again at the yarn that is looped around your hook. That yarn is going through 2 loops of yarn, 1 and 2. That first loop traces back into a hole. And since we left the green stitch marker in there, that hole should match up with the hole that the green stitch marker is in. That is the hole that you want to put your hook into. So pull the stitch marker off to the side, off to the left, so that it's out of the way when you crochet, and then put your hook into the same hole from the front to the back of the piece, so it looks like you've got 3 strands of yarn on the hook. And then make sure that your hook is in front of the working yarn and the tip of the hook is facing you.
We'll say sure. I don't think it quite looks like that,
Now
but
yarn
it's fine.
over by bringing the hook below and behind the working yarn, and then bring that yarn through just the first 2 loops on the hook. So pull the piece and the hook away from each other as you rotate the hook down to face the piece. Pull this yarn parallel to your body and through just those first 2 loops. The moment you clear it, rotate the hook to face you again. Push the hook off to the left and pull the hook a little bit away from you.
Okay.
You should now have 2 loops on your hook, so you are at the halfway point of a single crochet stitch. And let's just double check that this new loop is roughly the same size as the tip of the hook.
See, I can't imagine doing any of this again.
Yarn over by bringing the hook below and behind the working yarn, and then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So pull the piece and the hook away from each other as you rotate the tip of the hook to face the piece. Pull that yarn parallel to your body. the moment it clears those 2 loops, or rotate the hook to face you again, push it off to the left and pull the hook a little bit away from you.
Okay.
If you've got 1 loop left on your hook, then congratulations, you are done with your second increase stitch. Before we move on, let's just double check that we have the correct number of V's. We just finished our second increase stitch, and remember, because an increase stitch actually looks like 2 V's, we should have a total of 4 V's at this point. So turn your piece to look at the rim, so that we've got the stitch mark by the stitch marker, the orange one
I have
at the
4.
very bottom,
They're
and
not even.
your hook at the very top. And we're gonna count the number
I'm not
of
going
V's
back to
starting
fix
from the one marked by the orange stitch marker.
There's one
So
that is
here's the
way
first
too
V.
large, but it's okay.
Second, third, and fourth. Remember, you don't count the loop that's on your hook as a stitch. Great, I've got 4 V's so far, which means I'm good to go, and I can remove this first green stitch marker and put it aside because I don't need it anymore. So to finish round 2, we need to repeat what we've been doing in every remaining hole. We need to put an increase stitch in every remaining hole, and there are 4 holes left. So by the time you're done with this round, you should have 12 V's along the rim, starting from the one marked by the orange stitch marker and ending with the stitch that's going to be coming out of the V right before you get back to the orange stitch marker. Some of you might have gotten the hang of it already, and in which case you can just blast right through this, but it is pretty common to accidentally put the hook in the wrong hole since you're just learning how to crochet, and then wind up with the wrong number of stitches at the end. So I'd recommend just following along for a little bit longer to make sure that you're putting your hook in the right place.
I think it's fine.
Because we're starting a new stitch, we need to put our hook in the hole to the left of the one that we just made these stitches in. So to find that, we're going to look at the yarn that is looped around the hook, see how it traces back through these 2 loops of yarn. The first loop of yarn is going back into a hole, this hole. So we want to put our hook into the hole immediately to the left of that, and not just any hole, but the hole that is directly under the next horizontal V. So we still have this one green stitch marker left to give you a hint of where that should be, and hopefully your guess matched up with the green stitch marker. So I'm gonna move through the steps of the stitch a little bit faster now that you're getting more used to crocheting. Pull the green stitch marker off to the left so that it's out of the way, and then put your hook in the exact same hole that this green stitch marker is in, immediately to the right of it. It should look like you have 3 strands of yarn on your hook, and your hook is facing you and in front of the working yarn.
All right.
Then yarn over by bringing the hook down and under the working yarn and then behind it, grabbing onto the yarn with the tip of your hook. Then you're going to bring that yarn through just the first 2 loops on the hook, and the moment you clear those loops, push the hook off to the left to secure your new loop. You should have 2 loops on your hook, so you're halfway through a single crochet stitch. Now yarn over again by bringing the hook under and then behind the working yarn, and then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. The moment you clear both loops on the hook, rotate your hook to face you again and push it off to the left to secure your new loop on the hook. And you should have 1 loop on your hook by this point, and that loop should be about the same size as the tip of your hook. And you have finished the first single crochet stitch that makes up half of the increase stitch.
This is something.
To start the second single crochet stitch that makes up the second half of the increase stitch, you need to put your hook in exactly the same hole that this first single crochet stitch went into. So take a look at the yarn that's on your hook. See how it goes through 2 loops of yarn. That first loop is going back into a certain hole, and that hole should match up actually with the hole that is marked by the green stitch marker. That is where you want to put your hook. So put your hook into your piece from the front to the back of the piece with the tip of your hook facing you and your hook in front of your working yarn.
Okay.
You're going to yarn over by bringing the hook below the working yarn and then behind it. And then you're going to pull that yarn through just the hole that the hook just went into. The moment you clear that hole, rotate the hook to face you again and push it off to the left so that your new second loop is nice and secure on your hook. And make sure that that loop is about the same size as the tip of your hook.
All right.
You're halfway through the second single crochet stitch, so you're almost there. Now we're gonna yarn over again, so make sure you've got 2 loops on your hook and your hook is in front of the working yarn. Bring the hook down below the working yarn and behind it, and then pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. The moment you clear it, move the hook off to the left and make the tip face you so that you have nicely secured your new single loop on your hook. And then quickly check to make sure that this loop is basically the same size as the tip of the hook. You got to this point and you only have 1 loop on your hook. And congratulations,
Thank you so much.
You are done with your 3rd increased stitch.
You're doing great, Jetpack 13 love.
Thank you, Anonymous. I don't feel like I am, but I very much appreciate it. I very much appreciate it. But Anonymous,
You're halfway through the...
we're just gonna keep that there. You know, that it is dangerous to gift so much. Or wait, can I? If I do this, I think that's the best idea. Oh, and Sluggy McSlug, you've come in at a time. Welcome in. Raiders, hello. I guess first, I have a raid video for you. It's CES, welcome in. Hi Raiders, I'm Jet, your 4th favorite streamer. Yeah, 4th. You know, the guy you end up with when your favorites are offline and you misclicked my channel. Before we dive in, Snapsicles, this is a family-friendly stream. Please keep your chats cozy and clean or my mods will be on you like a pack of wild pumas. Looking for a triple threat? Gaming, chatting, and looks? Well, let me tell you why I'm called Triple Jet. When it comes to gaming, we dive into puzzles, indie games, RPGs, and mysteries. But the biggest mystery of all will be why you're still watching. Like to chat? Well, we get so derailed it's like we're a train to nowhere and I'm your conductor. Choo choo. And when it comes to looks, I am like the solar eclipse, best not to look at. Now, if you want a good streamer, follow the creators I just linked in chat. They will obliterate my stream like a snap from Thanos. Mr. Bezos, I don't feel so good. But if you like the wonderfully wrecked vibe of a beat-up pinata, then you're in the right place. The candy's mostly gone, but we can still keep it sweet. So drop a follow and we'll make this Siesta Fiesta the absolute besta. Got a jet? And welcome in. And Eon, hello. You guys have come in at a time for a lot of reasons. 1, I feel like I'm about to crash out. 2, because we just had Anonymous give $25 towards our Australia trip goals and to our next stretch goal, which is a League of Legends stream. But it's dangerous, Anonymous, to gift so much money, to be so generous, because sometimes when you're so generous,
Suddenly, things become quiet. Outside, trees rustle and sway. A breeze tugs at your hair as you feel the ground below you shake.
Oh no?
Oh no. You know what it is.
What is
A
it?
big gifter.
A big gifter? Anonymous! Thank you so much for the $25 going towards our next stretch goal, the League of Legends stream. I appreciate it. I appreciate the generosity and kindness. You didn't have to do that, but thank you very much. Thank you for cheering me on while I do something that is going to go terribly, but I very much appreciate it. Looks like we don't have our powerhouses to carry us this time. It's okay. It's okay. I don't think we're gonna get the frog to save us. The big gifter has gotten too close already. But look at all those lasers of generosity. But did I get it? But thank you very much. Friends, thank you for the hype. And thank you, Anonymous, again, for the $25, getting us closer to our League of Legends stream. Okay. So, we are crocheting a thing. And we're trying to crochet this. I am terrible at this. And
You're halfway through.
I've never crocheted anything before. And yeah, I've sort of said we are, also we're actually about to have to run ads. We will likely do this until I crash out. And then, if there's time, we'll do something else. If not, we'll just end stream. Joss, welcome in. Excuse me. This is also our Christmas and Joggist stream, so we're listening to Christmas music. One, Sluggy, I know what it's like after a stream, so if you need to get some food, drink, lounge, lurk, get some sleep, or whatever, please go do that. Same with the Raiders as well. It is good to have you here. But I also know what it's like to watch a stream and be done with it, and then being like, I need to just not be here anymore. So, if you need to lounge, lurk, etc., please go do that yourself. Make sure you take care of yourself, get something to eat or drink. And actually, we'll go ahead and run ads now. That gives people then the opportunity to peace out if they need to, or, you know, just unwind for a bit. So, friends, we'll run ads, stand up, stretch, do your thing, and we will be RB.
This is your time, Jetpack Gang. Stand up, move around, grab a snack, hydrate. The stream will resume in just a few minutes.
halfway through the second single crochet
And
stitch.
welcome back, everybody. This was... we're gonna go eat, enjoy. I hope you have a good dinner. We will be here for at least a little bit. We'll see how long we keep doing this. All right, that was what we just watched.
Before we move on and take out the green stitch marker, let's just double check we have the correct number of V's so far. We should have 6. So turn your piece so that you're looking at the rim, and let's start counting from the stitch that's marked by the orange stitch marker.
Oh, that's
So
like,
this is
thanks.
stitch
Yeah,
number
Jonzo
1,
got
V
it
number 1,
for me.
2,
I love
3,
it.
4, 5, and 6. Remember, you don't count the loop on your hook as a stitch. So great. If you've got 6 V's, then you're good to go, and you can take out the green stitch marker. You don't need this anymore.
But Jonzo, Joss, hope you're doing well. Bear, hello.
Since this is going to be your first time doing an increased stitch without the help of a stitch marker telling you where to put your hook, I'm going to start this one with you. We're still going to use the same method we've been practicing before, which is taking a look at the yarn that's on your hook and seeing how it goes through 2 loops of yarn. That first loop of yarn traces back into a hole. That's the hole you just finished making a stitch in. So that means you want to put your hook in the hole immediately to the left of that. Not just any hole to the left of it, but the hole that is immediately below the next horizontal V to the left of it. So you're going to put your hook under this horizontal V.
Oops. Also, okay. Had a bit of a jump scare. That coffee mug has my real name. Oh, there we go. Excellent, excellent.
And since you've done the increased stitch quite a few times now, I'm gonna go through the whole stitch in this one video. So we're gonna do a yarn over and then pull that yarn through just the hole that the hook just went into. So you have 2 loops on your hook now. And remember to make sure that the new loop is about the same size as the tip of the hook. Then yarn over again.
I'm doing
and
pretty
pull that
decent
yarn
in
through
general.
Both
Oh,
loops on
gosh.
the hook. So you have 2 loops on your hook now. And remember to make sure that the new loop is about the same size as the tip of the hook. Then yarn over again and pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So you're left with 1 loop on the hook. You're halfway done with an increased stitch. You have made a single crochet stitch so far. Now to finish the increased stitch, you're gonna put another single crochet stitch in exactly the same hole. So to see where you need to put your hook again, we're gonna look at the yarn that's on the hook. That yarn goes through 2 loops. The first loop traces back into a hole. This hole. That is the hole that you just crocheted a stitch into. So that's the hole you want to put your hook into again, from the front to the back. Then yarn over and pull that yarn through the hole that you just put your hook into. So you've got 2 loops on the hook that are vaguely the same size as the tip of your hook. Then yarn over again and pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So you're left with 1 loop on the hook. Front to the back. Then yarn over and pull that yarn through the hole that you just put your hook into. So you've got 2 loops on the hook that are vaguely the same size as the tip of your hook. Then yarn over again and pull that yarn through both loops on the hook. So you're left with 1 loop on the hook that is the same size as the tip of your hook. And then you are done with your 4th increased stitch. At this point, you should have 8 V's around the rim, starting from the one marked by the orange stitch marker and ending with the one that the loop on your hook traces back into.
They are definitely not even. I love this, but it also breaks my brain. Yeah. Yeah. Same. Same. I will tell you, we won't be doing this for very much longer. This is not happening. This is What's the word? Not for me, I think.
I'm gonna let you do the last 2 increased stitches by yourself since we've done some increased stitches together.
Oh my goodness.
You can always go back in the videos if you need a refresher on how to do the stitch or know where to put your hook. What I wanted to show you is what it should look like when you're done. You know you've hit the end of the round when there are no more horizontal V's for you to crochet into. So you do not want to crochet into the stitch mark by the stitch marker because that stitch is always the first stitch of whatever round you're on. That means the last stitch of the round needs to end before you get right back to that orange stitch marker.
What? I mean, I don't think that's necessary. What is...
Every time you
happens?
finish a round, you want to get in the habit of counting that you have the correct number of V's around the rim. In the next video, I'm going to teach you how you know how many V's you're supposed to have, but for...
So now, okay, I have to go back to... I mean, I don't know how far back I'm supposed to go. By the way, there's so many videos. We have not even hit the halfway point of the videos that are, correspond to this. That's it.
Welcome back, Sky Pirate.
Move over Judd Apatow. This is 40.
This is 40. Joss, thank you so much for the 40 months. That is wild. I appreciate it. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub. I'm sorry that you've come back to this stream. Or on this stream. I am like already done. I feel like emotionally I've already hit my limit as far as this goes. But I'm only continuing mostly because I don't know what else we would do for another 30 minutes. So that's where I'm at. So we'll try to go for another 30 minutes and then we will stop the stream. But I don't have any, I don't really have anything we could do for 30 minutes. So I'll probably just struggle with this for 30. This is like way too complicated, I think, for me. I think this is like beyond my capabilities as a human. Oh, you're Bonnie. Welcome in. How are you? You've come in as I'm crashing out. Hero, hello. Thank you for the raid, mostly because that means I get to delay this by playing the raid video. So hold on, let me pause, and I have a video for you all, so enjoy. Hi Raiders, I'm Jet, your 4th favorite streamer. Yeah, 4th. You know, the guy you end up with when your favorites are offline and you misclicked my channel. Before we dive in, Snapsicles, this is a family-friendly stream. Please keep your chats cozy and clean or my mods will be on you like a pack of wild pumas. Looking for a triple threat? Gaming, chatting, and looks? Well, let me tell you why I'm called Triple Jet. When it comes to gaming, we dive into puzzles, indie games, RPGs, and mysteries. But the biggest mystery of all will be why you're still watching. Like to chat? Well, we get so derailed it's like we're a train to nowhere and I'm your conductor. Choo choo. And when it comes to looks, I am like the solar eclipse, best not to look at. Now, if you want a good streamer, follow the creators I just linked in chat. They will obliterate my stream like a snap from Thanos. Mr. Bezos, I don't feel so good. But if you like the wonderfully wrecked vibe of a beat-up pinata, then you're in the right place. The candy's mostly gone, but we can still keep it sweet. So drop a follow and we'll make this siesta fiesta the absolute besta. Got a jet? But welcome in, everybody. How was Peak? How did Peak go today? But Fool's Arcade, welcome in. Secret Shore, hello, how are you? How was Peak, everybody? Chef Nova knows nothing. You're a bunny, Harry. Well, welcome in. We froze to death. No, we died. Oh, it was chaotic as usual. Oh man, I still haven't played Peak, but it looks very fun. But welcome in. We are this is our Christmas in Joggist stream. The plan was to listen to some Christmas tunes or Christmas adjacent tunes. And crochet a thing. I've never crocheted before. I was told Woobles would be easy. I feel lied to. I have been bamboozled. And I'm crashing out. A great game to blow your mic out with. Was there much screaming? Oh no, it is a very cute little mug that I will never see. That I will never see in its real form. I always wanted to crochet, but too scared to try. Well, I am not the one to tell you to do it. I am going to tell you that you should be scared. No, you're so valid. I've been forced to crochet. It's not that easy. Well, I think we have quite a few crocheters in our community, and some of them have actually sent me things, like crochet things, which is wonderful. I thought this would be easier. It is not. And I think I was saying this right as you guys were coming in. I think this is sort of like beyond my capabilities as a human. I think part of it is also like, I feel like you will be able to hear me out on this. I've always been, at the very least, much better at digital things than I am at physical things. And so, like, art stuff, I'm a much better artist if I am drawing on my computer or my iPad than I am if you tell me to draw something on a piece of paper. It's going to come out terribly. I have never really been as good on paper. Just really, that statement should just apply generally to me. On paper, I am not as good. But when it comes to digital things, I find I am much better at it. I don't believe it. I can't disagree with you more, Joss. I think part of that is also, I mean, I have very shaky hands just in general. So like, when I have to draw stuff with like a pencil or a pen or something, the lines are like really just shaky. So like on Procreate, I very much make use of the like stabilization tools, as well as like in Photoshop. I think they have better stabilization now, but I used something called Hage something, and I can't remember what it's called, the full name of it, but it was like a plugin that I bought for Photoshop, where instead of just like it's stabilizing the line, you're like pulling a thing. You're pulling the cursor versus the cursor is just smooth. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but it's like it's a smoother. You get a smoother line because like you're like I don't know how to describe it, but basically there's like a little tether onto the cursor, and it ends up like. Yeah, so you're pulling the actual string, and so it ends up being... Anyway, I did that, because my hands are so, like, shaky normally. So I think in general, like, as I think about this, I think in general, I am much better when I don't have to do things with my hands. If you give me like a physical project, like it kind of makes sense too. Like I've always loved watercolor. Anytime I have tried it, it turns out terrible. It's just not very good. And I think when it comes to like having a physical object, it's never as good. for me. It's just enough. I think also, I mean, I think to be fair, it's also like, having the undo button on a computer is much more my speed. And Fool's Arcade, thank you for the lurk. Gotta run, but I'll leave you leave a lurk. Remember to be patient with yourself too. Have a great stream. Fool's Arcade, have a good one. So I'm currently working on the handle for this food bowl, and even I'm not enjoying it. The cup part hasn't been so bad, but I know how to crochet. Yeah, well, yeah. Sassy is one of our crocheters. Honestly, I don't think it's beyond your abilities at all, but life's short. It's just frustrating you too much. It's perfectly valid. Take a breather. Takes a lot of patience. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is. I think it is beyond my capabilities. Have you seen that, like animation of it's like a dog artist who's like on a computer, and it's showing like me on a computer, or like me drawing versus like other artists, and it goes to then like another animal. I can't remember what the animal is. I mean, is it another dog? Maybe they're all dogs, actually, now that I think about it. And the other dog is like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. It's dogs all the way down. Yes, that is one. That's very much me when it comes to art stuff. That's why I'm also very like impressed at your streams, watching you do it, because I'm like, I could never do this because it's so much of me drawing things is like, draw something, undo, this isn't good, I feel like the sweat, the just anxiety and nervousness, just I could not but you can, I believe in you. Gotta let I can't. I have too much anxiety. the let loose, it lets the anxiety loose. I can't. I gotta hold that back before the floodgates just appear. What I love that who is the artist who makes that dog video? Hold on. I recently saw that they like Toniko Pendoja. I probably said that right. I mean, wrong. But they recently, I guess, came up with like like a final video version of it, and it's so good to see it in color. I need to share it on my Instagram. I haven't I've like saved it because I was like, at some point I need to share it. It's so it's so good, but it's also I don't know, I just very prolific animator. Yeah, I honestly think I know I found them from that original video, like the original like sketch version. I think it popped up on my like For You page, and then I started following them. But I mean, incredibly talented, I can tell from just what I've seen. I have to run some errands. Now that I'm done with work, believing alert. Thank you, Joss. I don't think we're gonna be on for very much longer. Excuse me. I know they'll probably be done when I get back, so have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Yeah, I don't think, I feel like this is as far as we can get to. This is Joe, everybody. This is, you know what I should do? Because they give you like, they give you eyes. They give you eyes. I feel like I should, like, just There he is. We got it. Potato. It's a highly stylized potato. Honestly, look, we did it. We crocheted. You can whip it out in 10 minutes, I believe. No way. I can. This has taken me almost 2 hours, and they started this. This wasn't they start with a round already done. So like, I have only done part of this, and it took me 2 hours. This is not happening. But yeah, we now have a highly stylized potato. I like that. I'll be sure to post pics of mine in the Discord when it's done. Yeah, yes, please. That'll be the, I want to just make it and send it to you. I mean, how can it get better than our little potato here? I do kind of want to put this on the shelf, though. You know, they give us... Perfect. But in that time, there's been several raid videos and the big gifter. Yeah, but like, I mean, that's fair. But still, an hour, if we just, we'll give me the benefit of the doubt. An hour for this, and it's not even perfect. Like, that is way too large. I can't. Potato, he's just so handsome. Look at this guy. Or it could be a mustache. You know? There could be some other options. It could be a fancy potato. If you unravel it and tie it around, it could be like a little bow tie. Oh, that's actually also a good point. That would be very adorable. We could try to move the knot. Hold on. Put that a little fancy. It's also probably the bottom of the mug, so you won't see that part anyway. You'll see the parts where you started getting more comfortable with it. I mean, theoretically, that would happen if I was capable of doing this. But also, if I was going to do it, I won't be doing it off stream, because I don't hate myself. Because I think this is like, I cannot do anymore. You know, I'm not surprised as I think about it. Not really surprised. I feel like, again, as I was saying, like, I've never been good, like, thinking back on it. As I was watching the lady tell me how to do a single stitch again, it was sort of flashing back to different points in my life where I've had to do a physical, like, thing in an art class, or like had to, you know, whether it was like a little clay, whatever, or I've done, like, I tried to make my favorite Animal Crossing character out of clay, and that didn't turn out. And like other art projects that have had to do with like a physical, me, hands-on, never turns out. It never turns out right. And I think that's just, I was made for the digital world. Good, you know, it's very good that I was not, like, born in a previous era, because I would be skillless. You're capable of doing it. It's understandable if you're not interested in doing it. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I don't know if it is founded in in actuality. I don't think there are some people who are like so good at like picking up things and just like you get it in their hands and they're like, done, I got this. They've got the brain for it. They've got the motor skills. That's never been me, I don't think. I think I find greater happiness in commissioning people who have the ability already honed than trying to do it myself. Yes, I agree. I am with you there. For sure. I would much rather like do that instead. Because then it's like, oh, look how like that's what it looks like when a professional does it. If I were to do it, we just get potato. And you know what, potato, not to like, you know, talk bad about potato. I wouldn't want to do that. That seemed to be rude to do that to Joe. You don't happen to have the boomer sitting, no, not near me, but I can go get it. So Sassy made this, which is my favorite Animal Crossing character. His name is Boomer. But you see, this is like, this is talent here. So yeah, so adorable, right? I totally get what you're coming from. I felt this myself, so when approaching new things, I now default to trying to do my worst because it takes the pressure off. That is actually totally fair. That is so fair. I love that. It's not unfounded. What you have so far looks great, and you're just starting out. Rome wasn't built in a day. It's true. But this isn't even Rome. This is like, I don't know. This is Boomer. But this is like, it's not even Rome. It's Paris. And not Paris, France. Paris, Texas. You know? But anyway, yeah, it's adorable. It's perfect. It's like the colors are great. It matches and everything. So like, lovely. But yeah, you know. It's a skill, and you weren't born with it. Neither was anybody else. You're doing great, Joe. Thank you, Hero. I appreciate the kindness. I'm gonna put Boomer right over here. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I feel like there's not much physical, like, stuff that I've ever necessarily been good with. Again, I'm much better with like digital things. Like if there's like a digital program, much better at like learning that. If there's like, I think my brain is wired that way, just to like mess with digital things and like poke all the buttons, try to figure stuff out. And then I feel like that's where that's my strength. Pretty much anything else is like, it's just not my wheelhouse. It's not even a house. It's like, you know, it's not in the wheel shack. Boomer was super fun to make. I will say that as a crocheter, I'm not really enjoying the Wooble kit. Interesting. Why do you say that? They've got to find a smaller kit next time. This was supposed to be a beginner. This was for beginners. This is like, what's funny is I actually wanted to get kangaroo, I think is what they had, but it was like medium difficulty. Or something like that. But chat chose Joe the coffee mug, since it was for beginners. So that poor kangaroo would not have been made. I do feel like we all have particular inclinations towards building certain skills and hobbies. Like for me, I love to write and have always enjoyed the challenge, but don't enjoy the challenge of drawing. Yeah, I could totally see that. See, I wish I was a better writer also. I feel like I can appreciate good writing, but like when it comes to thinking of writing things, it's like just racking my brain, trying to make it sound decent. Yeah, but there's a lot of rounded chains, which I always thought were harder than straights. Wait, oh, okay. Sorry if they're not the right terms. I mean, it's, oh no, that's fair. Okay, that might be. I couldn't tell you. I don't know the terms, so I'm gonna say that they're probably, yeah, those are the terms. The yarn seems stiff and less forgiving, which I understand for beginners since that would help with stitch definition, but I think it's making it more difficult for me since I'm used to a softer yarn. Interesting. And Toon, welcome in. This is Potato. This was going to be Joe the coffee mug, but I've given up. You know, the only thing that, trust me, I'm a doctor. The only thing that I am decent at trying to see if I have one. Is there? I feel like I had one here. So I can't find the... Where is this little cat? I don't see him. Okay, well, I've lost the cat. I am... The only thing that I am at all, like, okay at doing physically is, like, mini painting. But I think that's, like, different. Because I'm not having to draw lines, like... And really, I'm only okay with, like, I don't know. Like, my hand still gets shaky if I have to draw, like, details, or, like, paint details in. But this had, like, a little delivery cat on him. And we were painting the bike. It's like a little space bike. But that's, like, the only thing that I'm, like, okay with. Like, is, like, because I did, like, some D&D minis and stuff. I feel like that's all, it's almost like paint by numbers, you know? Like, you just have to get the base colors down, and then you're good. Then just paint some shading in there, and that's it. It's like, it's much different. But I also had to get, like, I think it's in the other room. I had to buy, because again, my hands are so shaky, I had to buy, like, this thing, this little contraption, where instead of, like, painting and holding the figure, I, like, put, like, some gummy tacky stuff on this little platform, and it has this, like, hook so that I can hold onto, like, the hook, and, like, so it's, like, much more stable for drawing, because otherwise then my hand is just, like, shaking. Euro is my trusted doctor. Well, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to go see Euro then. I will say that the stitches you made look pretty good for never having crocheted before, even the one that is a bit bigger, so it looks good. It's definitely not even. I mean, you guys can't really see it. It's kind of overexposed, but yeah, you can see that there's one that is huge. Looks super cool. Yeah, thank you. I do like, that's like the only thing I can do though, is sort of like, I wish I had some of my other minis around here. You say that, but painting smaller surfaces is also deceptively involved. That is true. That's true. And, I mean, yeah. I don't know. This one, to be fair, like, I tried to make... I wanted it to look kind of, like, spacey on... Like, this is the windshield, and I was like, maybe this can be, like, the reflection? Like, because it was like a space delivery cat. So I followed a guide on how to paint a nebula. I don't know if nebula fully comes across on this, but it certainly looks spacey, I think. But yeah, I feel like with this though, it was like not too difficult because there's like so many large areas of like solid color. So that was like, I don't know. It made it easier. It made it easier for me. But like the minis where they're like people, drawing their faces is like nerve-wracking to me, because like some of the minis, like the details are just so small, like for where you need to put eyes and mouths and stuff, that it's like, it just, I don't know, it's not fully right, but that's okay. It's okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I just don't have that dog in me, you know? I don't have the crochet dog in me. Or the, like, clay sculpting dog. You know? I've just got digital dog. Just give me Photoshop. Or a tablet with my Apple Pen. I have that cat in me, and it wants to nap. That's how I feel, 100%. I'm good at napping. I'm a very good napper, you know? If that was a Olympic sport, I would be, I think, at least a runner-up. Not even, like, in the Olympics, just, like, qualifying. I'd be a runner-up qualifier. But I would still, that's still one of my strengths. Very good at napping. Lots of cat naps. You know. It's nice. I like a good nap. That's okay. The bunny supports your pet adoption journey. I appreciate it. You know, at least I can say that I have done a couple of stitches, you know? But I do want to put this up on my shelf, though. I think it's important to... that potato just sits on my shelf. More than many people, that's true. There are many people who have just who have not done as many just because they have never crocheted before. That is really the only thing that's holding them back. You at least tried, and as a teacher, that's all I can ask for. Yeah, that's fair. I appreciate that, Sassy. Because yeah, I can't do this. This is just, you know, this is above my pay grade. Trying is already a win. Yeah, that's what we're gonna say. I will make and send you a crochet mug. You don't have to do that, Sassy. I appreciate it though. I have potato. I want you to be able to appreciate your own work, you know? We can, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put a pin in this. Get it? But what was I gonna say? We'll go ahead. €1, thank you so much for the raid. I very much appreciate it. Friends, if you're not following Euro, please do. A wonderful artist. I need to actually see you playing a game, though. Watching me type. By the way, this is why sometimes I'm like, whenever on stream I'm like struggling to shout out somebody. It's because like I usually have like 2 keyboards up here and other stuff, and so I'm like typing. Funny, you get to see me type on stream, which feels weird for some reason. But there's a link to follow Euro. Dual wielding keyboards, yeah, because I have a Steam Deck, which is where I usually play games on. So I have to have a second keyboard for it, and so like I'm always like that. And my mic is actually usually more centered, and so like it's always just a little bit like awkward to type on here. Brad, welcome in. How are you? I usually just do art, but I sneak a couple of games every now and then. Today was not planned. Yeah, actually, I thought you, because I got the notification. I feel like it said maybe you were playing or you were arting, but I could be wrong. Today was a pressure Euro into peak day. Oh, I love it. the peer pressure. The peer pressure. Oh, this one is going to Mr. Panda. Yours would be a different one that you could store Potato Joe in, or Potato. Basically, I love that. Well, you don't have to do that, Sassy, but I appreciate the thought, though. The offer. Brad, how did your making a D&D character go? Brad was making his first D&D character in D&D Beyond yesterday on his stream. Good. What's the name of your character? What did you... I feel like that's the most important thing. D&D, let's go. Yeah, right. I enjoy D&D. I was actually we were talking about it on stream a couple days ago. I really enjoy some D&D. It's been a while since I've played. Euro, when was the last time you played? His name is Yogan, and he's a folk hero fighter. Oh, he was a chef in a past life. Oh, I love it. A baker, like you, or a chef? Just a chef. Also, you guys get to see. I should have put Senshi on here, so you guys could have seen Senshi. I've only played on 2 one-shots, but I love hearing about people's OCs. Oh, love it. That's so good. I honestly really love one-shots. I think there's something really fun about just having like a really short experience that's like you kind of get the full thing, you know, essentially in one go, or at least in like 1 or 2 sessions, and you know, it's just lovely. I think that they're so great. There's low commitment there, but I do enjoy a campaign. I've been a part of a couple of campaigns. There's my character sheet. I'll have to look at it. I'll look at it after. I'll look at it more in depth after stream. Yeah, I do love a good D&D sesh. Euro, what was your what have been like your classes that you've played? I love a good rogue. I love like a broody, like, you know, a broody thief. Give me that. That's my go-to character. But I try to. I know that that's like what I would want to play every time if I could. So I tried to break out of that. So I've played like a ranger, I've played a druid, but I love rogues. If I could, I would just be a rogue every time. It's been a while. If the next time I get a chance, maybe I'll play a rogue. I played an 81-year-old monk that fell asleep every 15 minutes and stealthed so hard he disappeared. His name was Peepo. Oh, I love it. Or Peppo. I love it. That's such a good... It sounds like such a wonderful character. I love that. Chris built a druid. Druids are fun. Druids are very fun. They're very like adaptable. Like, if you need them to be just sort of like a ranged caster, they can do that. If you need them to be a tank, eventually they can sort of be just like, well, that was also the old druids. I don't know what has changed in the past little bit. There were earlier versions of 5e druids could just tank everything, so that was also a thing. But I have not kept up with like the rule changes, so I don't know where things are at right now. He's just like me for real. Speaking of napping, yeah. So I have my second language as the druid language, but I'm not gonna let his character know I know his language. Oh, I love that. So good. Anyone doing the bad bard archer with musical arrows? Oh, that sounds wonderful. Be back. I have a meeting. Enjoy. Brad will be gone. But thank you for popping in and saying hello. It's good to see you. But yeah, I like a good rogue. I like a good, you know, give me a character that who's rough around the edges but has a heart of gold. That's kind of my like. That's my bread and butter. Have a good day then. We'll see you, Brab. Have a good one. We'll be here on our 15th Wooble. I believe in you. goodness. You know what? It's funny. There's part of me that's like, I can't believe I thought I would do this. I can't believe part of me thought that I'd be able to do this. Our group is mostly music teachers, and not a single one of us picked Bard. I guess it was too close to our IRL jobs. Butter, bread baskets, exactly. It's not. It's my bread basket. Rogues are so fun in almost every setting. They are, and I in every game. Well, in any. It's actually not true. I was gonna say in any game I love stealthing, but that's actually not true. I actually hate stealth games. I hate games where that's the main mechanic, but if I can be like a character that has invisibility or can like do something to like be sort of tricky and rogue-like, then I'm all for that. But if the main game is like you have to stealth around, I'm like, I don't enjoy this because I feel like they're always so difficult. But like, if it's an option and it's not the main mechanic, then I'm usually like, yeah, give me rogue, give me backstab, that kind of stuff. Give me daggers, all for it. They were discussing the characters last night, and Chris said he wanted to be a bard, but he can't sing. So I said he should be bad at bard, but have insane archery skills and use his lyre as the bow and arrow sling for him. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Bard school dropout. So good. You see, that's the thing also with D&D is you can get so creative and like, I don't know, just you can come up with some very whimsical ideas, and I love that. This man is also like me, for real. Peak relatable. Yeah, I love that. I love that you can kind of come up with like, I don't know, really fun out there ideas. And I think you have a very good DM if they sort of like work with you and like making that work. Maybe not everything works, but like if they're like willing to sort of be like, yeah, sure, we can figure out how to make this work, then I think that's great. I have wanted to do a bard, but instead of it being music, to like reskin all of the magic abilities into like a street magician. I thought it'd be fun to have like a street magician character, but they would be mechanically a bard, but everything is just not music. It's just like, instead of, you know, whatever, he'd be doing like street tricks, like pulling rabbits out of hats and like having the flowers pop out of the sleeve and whatever. It'd be like a lot of that stuff, and then reskinned, and yeah. So I think I'm sure that wouldn't be. I don't think I'd be asking too much if I had a DM and I wanted to make this character. I think it'd be fun to. I don't think it'd be that difficult to convince them, because I'm not asking them to change anything really. It's just like, okay, here it says it's like a musical ability, but I want it to be like a, you know, street magician trick. Gotta run, get some food before I get yelled at. Have a wonderful rest of your day, Jet. Always nice to catch you online. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for the raid. That'd be a neat character. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Yeah, go get your noms. I'm going to have to get my noms here in a second, too. I'm also very hungry. I think my idea for it also, I think it'd be funny if it was like a street urchin. Like if it was like a child who wore like, I imagine, you know, they're probably wearing very like poor clothes, but they have a like a tailed coat, like, you know, where it has like the coattails. I think that would be very fun. Like, so that's their, and then they have like a hat, and they would probably be like, they'd need like a classic magician's name, like the Magnificent something, or like, you know, whatever. But so I think they'd be like a street urchin, child, orphan, magician. Oh, and I think the way I was thinking of this was like maybe they were taken in by another magician, and that's how they like learn some of their abilities. Maybe take a couple levels into like sorcerer, so they're like sort of like they have this innate ability or something. I don't know, but a kiddo who managed to nab an old magician's. Oh, that would actually. Oh, that's actually fantastic. That's actually even better. I love that actually. It's not even theirs. They just like stole a whole bunch of like magical stuff. I would love that. It'd be so good. Now I need to be a part of a D&D campaign. Yoink. Now, yeah, I need a DM. I need a group of people to play with now, and then I can have a little street kid magician. I think that'd be fun. Cuz I also think like I think it'd also be fun because, like, some of those skill, like Bard, like they have Vicious Mockery, and then they also have like Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which makes someone laugh uncontrollably. I feel like it'd be fun to have this kid who's like doing all of this partially because they like enjoy the crowd. They enjoy the reception that they're getting from people, but like they're using magic that's like really intense. Like they're using like honestly I think that spell that makes people laugh is kind of terrifying. Like that idea is kind of like, imagine just being forced to laugh. I think is like a terrifying prospect. Like you have no control over yourself. So like having this kid, but like this kid is just using it because they think it's fun. They just think it's like, you know, they love making people laugh, but I don't know, there's sort of a terrifying kind of scary aspect to it. I'd love it if like the other players are all adults who are like, we need to like take this kid under our wing. This kid is going to turn out bad if we're not too careful. Magically inclined and incredibly powerful, but not honed, and thus a dangerous bombshell of magical energy. Exactly, and doesn't have the like, you know, the wisdom, like not stats wise, but like doesn't have the like, you know, social. They're not an adult, so like they just don't know what they should be doing. They've just learned these magical things and are doing them, and don't have the like the guide, and yeah, they haven't been like taught to do better. So it'd be kind of fun if that was also like, I don't know, if the other players realize that, or like, okay, we need to help this kid out before he like turns evil, because that is what's going to happen if we don't watch this guy. I think that'd be so much fun. I love D&D. I love RPGs, and I say D&D, but TTRPGs and all of that is just so much fun. I love it. Someone get the child a leash. Yeah, I don't let him wander too far. He's going to steal some other magical thing. But I don't know, that could be so much fun. But friends, we're gonna end partially because also they're gonna force me to play ads here in a second, and I don't want to. I don't want you guys to sit through ads again. So we'll go ahead and end. And if they can't successfully rein you in, you become the BBEG. I mean, that would be fantastic. I'm all down for that. Like I love D&D with consequences and with like things not always turning out for the best, you know? I'm totally there for that. So like you know, if that's what happens, that's what happens. He grows up to be the bad guy. Or maybe not even like, maybe just gets a hold of the wrong stuff and, you know, becomes a bad guy. For a bit, anyways. Who knows? Maybe he's redeemable. I'm also down for a redemption arc. I don't mind a good redemption arc. But friends, we are gonna end. I think I'm just about done with Joe the Mug. Really? Goodness. Looks like it'll take me 3 to 4 hours to make with break such a... Unbelievable. 6 out of magic that curses. Oh, that'd be pretty good. I like that. And he would know better, you know. It could also be like a Sasuke moment where it's like, you know, Sasuke just wanted power, and as a kid, You know, he's probably just like, oh, more magic. I'll just keep getting more magic. It's fine. There's nothing wrong. Nothing could go bad. Magic is fun. But friends, we'll go ahead and stop here. One, I can also get rid of this camera. Put myself back to full. Show chat. Let me say a couple thank yous really fast to Too Much to Bear, thank you so much for the 40 stream streak. And Shadow Panther 7, thank you for the follow. Devin, Player 4, thank you for the raid. Ozzy Cretin, thank you for the raid as well. Sluggy McSlug, thank you for the raid. Joss for the 40 months resub. And Euro Bonnie, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here. Sorry that Potato didn't turn out to be what he was supposed to. Oh, Ross, welcome in. We are ending now. Thanks for letting us Euro folks raid you. Of course, anytime. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad to have you. Have a good weekend. Yeah, thank you for being here. I've done the mug and handle work. Oh my goodness, Sassy, you have flown through this. Yeah, we were going to make, we were going to crochet something. Raph. I've never crocheted anything before, and really, I have never crocheted anything after. I can still say I've really never crocheted anything, because this is what we've ended with. Because I am not good at this. I crocheted some of this, but I've decided they're just putting the eyes on this and calling it a day. It is not my thing. I cannot do this. So we have, instead of Joe the coffee mug, we have Potato, the potato. So we're gonna end, because I mean that's way better than anything I'd be able to. I'm this or this. This I didn't even start. It comes partially made. I only did like some of this. I only did like a few of these loops at the very end. It starts mostly made. Potato is way better. I regret to inform you, it also mostly came like this. It came wrapped like this. I've only put eyes. I believe that you could also just put eyes on a thing. Like we can even give him an open mouth. Oh, now he looks like a dog. Anyway, ads are about to play, and I don't want you guys to see ads, so we're going to just end here. But friends, thank you for being here. If I'm feeling it, maybe we'll do a bonus stream tomorrow just to make up for today's terrible stream, because I feel like it has been terrible. Because we've started with nothing and we're ending with nothing. And basically, I feel like there was very little entertainment. So if I'm feeling it, maybe we'll do something tomorrow. If not, maybe we'll just wait for Monday, but we will see. We'll see what happens. The stream. Oh, and also Anonymous, thank you so much for the $25. I almost forgot. Alex, we're leaving, but hello. I hope you're having a great day. It's good to see you. We've had it. The stream was not terrible at all. It was a stream. Bay. It was a stream. I don't know if it was. It's definitely not a great one. It definitely wasn't one that is. It's going down in history as a stream, and that something was attempted, but I don't think it is memorable for it being a good one. But that's okay. We all they can't all be winners. That's fine. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.